each newsletter, I was highlighting a backlist book, and I put a very small excerpt. And I put this one excerpt from a book that I have called Crazy in Love, and it made me laugh so hard that I was like, which is ridiculous because I wrote it, but yes, I thought it was. It made me laugh so hard that I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be writing.
Hey everyone, welcome to the More Than Words podcast, where you can get happily ever after hours. If you don't already know, I am Dakota Willink, USA Today Bestselling Author, best known for writing dark billionaire romance. Today, I am so excited to host New York Times and USA Today Bestselling Author S.L. Scott. It's been a while since I've spoken to her, so the conversation today hopefully should be interesting as we catch up. Susie writes character-driven, heart-racing suspense and swoon-worthy romances that definitely will leave you glued to the page. Her stories range from witty beach reads to heart-wrenching and heart-healing. Her stories are highly regarded as emotional, relatable, and captivating. For those of you familiar with my Fade Into You series, S.L. Scott, she kind of checks all those boxes. But before I pull her in, I'm going to ask all of you to make sure you hit the like button. This is very important because it feeds the algorithm and allows people like you to find us easier. So let's get to it. Hey, Susie, how are you? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Hang on a minute. Oh, let's see what's happening here. Audio. Okay, now can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Let me turn up my volume.
Yeah, sorry, it was on the I don't know what happened there with the speakers. It defaulted to something I don't even recognize. So like I had to switch it to
I
my
know. Now, what do I look like here?
yeah, you're fine. So
I
how
like
are
your
you?
background.
Oh, thanks. These are my shelves. Like everyone's always like, "Oh my God, your shelves." This is like this thing I was like saving forever to like build. It goes like all the way to my ceilings and
To
yeah.
do. Yeah.
So it's my
Mine are too packed.
well, I have
Except for this weird space.
no, I have in the basement there's like all the messy things, like my back stock and everything else. I just
Yeah.
have like the pretty things and all my
Yeah.
tchotchkes and my candles.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
so
Well,
yeah, I
how
was
are
like,
you?
what's that?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I was actually when I just did your introduction, saying who was coming on, I realized like it's been a while since I think it was Book Bonanza, right? That's the last time I saw you.
Um,
I don't think we had
Probably.
did we have
It
wait, were you at Ram?
No, not this year. I was at the very first one, so
So then
it's
yeah,
been a
I
few
think
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was Book Bonanza then. I don't know. What events do you have coming up like next year? Are we gonna cross paths?
Only one, Dallas in March, and then I've decided to kind of pause most big events.
Yeah, everybody, I feel like that's a sentiment I'm getting from everybody I've talked to so far, and especially in doing like this podcast when we talk about events that we have coming up. Anything I have to like fly to, I'm just not doing because it's so
Yeah.
costly. And not that
Yeah.
I don't want to like go see the readers, but I'm basically picking one signing a year where I have to go fly to, and then
Yeah.
everything else I'll just do if I can drive. And I'm trying to just keep it
Mhm.
as small as I can. It's just I don't know, just the financial aspect of it and the time away too. It puts
Yeah.
a lot of effort to, ship all your books and get everything
And it
ready.
really just pulls you out of, it takes me so much longer to recover just physically. You're just tired. I love events. I think it really fills so much inside of you that we don't get day to day.
Yeah.
Connecting with readers and seeing people and having those experiences, connecting with author friends and bloggers and people like that. It's always so fun. And then I come back and crash for days. And it's just, yeah, financially, it's very expensive. And it takes a lot of effort a lot of work, I should say, to organize your stuff for it, to prepare for it. And like if you said, like if you're having to ship or drive Dallas, I can drive to. I'm in Austin, so I can drive to that. And I just had a signing in Austin in September and Book Bonanza I could drive to because of Dallas.
Yeah.
So those were a little easier because you can kind of go when you need to. You can, I could leave at 8 in the morning and be home by lunch, on the drive back, stuff like that. But yeah, I love events. I did a lot of them over the years. I did one at the Ripped Bodice in Brooklyn last year. No, wait, this year. I
This
also did that one this year. But other than that, so I'll have like three in a year. But other than that, Book Bonanza was a big event, and that was so fun because so many people came together for it.
It
You
was.
kind of got to see everybody
You
at
know,
once.
that
But
was
yeah,
actually part of the reason for doing this podcast too, was to keep the connections, because everyone is saying how
yeah,
they're scaling back on events. And I love, I love this author community. So yeah, we're here to,
yeah,
talk to the readers about our stuff, but also to talk to each other, reconnect, and keep
yeah.
these conversations.
Reconnects you to the
Yeah.
world because so many of us just work alone all the time.
Yes.
And so it's
Yep.
like I said, it's very probably soul filling to do events or be able to see people in the world. Because in our worlds, it's
We're
not the same when
global.
I'm seeing a neighbor. I like my neighbors, but it's so much more fun when you're with romance community people.
Yeah, for sure. It absolutely is. So before we get into like all like the bookish things, I like to always start things off with like something that you're loving and hating, because it's just fun. It helps us, it's so relatable because so many
Okay.
people are like, oh yeah, I agree with that. So what is something that you are loving right now?
Anything or book related?
Anything could be totally anything.
I am all about a pistachio latte right now. So I perfected making this. I'm in Texas, so it's hot. And so all in the warmer months, I switched to cold coffee, cold brews. And so it's very easy. I just pour my HEB cold brew and a little creamer and I'm good to go. But as it gets warmer, I'll switch to hot. But there was something where I was like, I am so bored with my routine in the morning. I'm going to romanticize my morning. So just one day I was like, okay, I have this little syrup. It was a little sample thing from last Christmas. And I was like, I'm going to try it. And I did the whole, like, I have a Keurig that I've literally had 4 years, and it has the little side foamer thing.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm gonna try that. I haven't used it in years. Let's see if it even works. And then I tried it. I was like, I am loving this. I actually look forward to it the night before. I'm like, I get to wake up and
Make
make
your
this pistachio
pistachio
muffin.
latte. That
I know
actually
it's
sounds
so
good.
weird.
I love
It is
pistachio.
so good. It is so good. So yeah, so I'm loving that right now.
Something I'm loving is I'm simple. You had like a story that's great, but I mean, we just did an Alaskan cruise and we brought these
Oh,
saltwater taffies back with us. Well, I shouldn't say we just did. It was like in September, but
yeah.
I forgot that I had them and they're in the cabinet. And I discovered them like a few days ago. I was like, oh, I forgot we
Yeah.
bought these. They're so good. They're so
You're
good.
like, it's a treat, a
Saltwater
magical
taffy.
treat that appeared there. Yeah.
All
I
right.
love
So, what is something that you are hating right now?
my deadline.
Your deadline. That is so relatable.
It's Friday and I'm clearly not going to hit it.
Oh no, oh no. Well, I won't
So
try.
I'll
I'll
go,
make sure I don't keep you like overtime
no,
today.
I mean, yeah, I'm probably needing too many words at this point, but I won't be too late. I'm pretty quick once I can kind of get into the, I'm halfway there.
Okay.
So,
See,
but
I'm a pantser, so I can't even tell you how long I'm going to be. It's just
I'm a pantser too. Like I like thinking about the ideas. I like kind of plot. I have ideas about part like scenes that are going to happen. I know like A, B, and C, but how they get there, mine are character driven. So I let them, drive the cart, so to speak. And so yeah, it sometimes because I years ago I was like, well, there's one author who you would know, but she outlines for like a month, really detailed. And then it only takes her like 2 weeks to write. I'm like, aren't you kind of just writing the book? Like, if it
Wow.
only takes you 2 weeks to write it, then you're kind of just writing the book at that point, like in the first part. But I was amazed by that. So I was so inspired.
I think Christy Bromberg has like crazy outlines like that. She has these notebooks
Yeah,
that I don't know if this is what you're talking about.
so
But I think she,
detailed.
yeah, it's very
Anyway, so
detailed.
I was like, I tried that. I was so inspired years ago, and it just did not work. I felt like I was fighting the characters the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's a tough deadline, but it is what it is. I'm sure my characters will get me there. What are you hating?
Oh, what I'm hating right now is honestly, it's something so simple, but it's doorbells and commercials need to be banned.
Oh my God, my dog.
Yes, yes, because
Yes.
the doorbell goes off and the dogs
Ah,
go bananas.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
always
now,
like, my dog freaks out too.
wait, do they respond? Do you have like the Alexas, the Amazon Alexas in your house?
I don't. I pulled it out
Oh my God.
many, many. I was so parent. I kept seeing it turn on when certain words were said in our house. And that's before they announced to the public that they were recording every conversation.
I'm sure they.
Um, and
Honestly,
so
I'm not
I,
important enough to care if they're recording me, so that's why I just leave
well, the
everything
worst,
plugged in.
it would only come on when we were talking about money. So it was like
Oh,
if you said the word finance, for instance, it would suddenly light up. And I was like, I don't like
that's
that.
that's
And so
really
I
creepy.
pulled it out, I mean, 10 years ago at least. Yeah, so
Oh,
I
no,
don't
I'm
have
asking because whenever it bings, because there's like an Amazon delivery, the dogs know that too. Because
that.
like it makes this little noise, and they know that
Yeah.
there's the Amazon truck at the door, and they go running to the front door, and
Yeah.
it's
That's
literally
funny.
crazy. But that's super creepy. I'm gonna have to pay attention now. See, because
Well,
I'm
you
like,
can request, you can look up your conversation, what it's recording. You're actually, they had to admit they were doing it, and then you were allowed to go see and download what they record. So you can actually get your information.
that's really
I can't tell
interesting.
you how because it's been so long since I messed with it. But
I'm super weird. Like I have the mindset of like, like Mark Zuckerberg and Bezos, and if they're watching what I'm doing online and whatnot, I don't really care because it means I get relevant ads in my feed and not something that I don't want to see.
I feel
So
like
I'm
our
like,
phones are,
listen to
yeah,
me all day. I
our
don't care.
phones are listening enough. Our computers are listening enough. I didn't need the extra. I mean, I just wasn't using it. I mean, I can look outside to see the weather or my phone.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things I can do
Yeah.
without it that I've kind of work. I'm just that weirdo who doesn't have it.
Oh no, we're the people that like it's for me, it's more about the lights in the house. I like keep
Yeah.
telling like Alexa what lights to turn on. It's so
Yeah.
bad that when I go to a hotel, I'm like, damn it, light
Feel
switches.
like I've had to manage it. That's funny. Do you have your temperature, like your thermostat?
No, we don't have that. We're not that
Yeah.
like dialed in, but we just have the little boxes in like all the houses,
Yeah.
all the rooms in the house.
Yeah.
But
That's funny.
and we have the smart bulbs and things like that. But so okay, so back to bookish things. Now let's get on to like the fun stuff. For not that this hasn't been fun, this is actually very entertaining for me. But for listeners who might be new to you, how would you describe your books in 3 words? I probably should have prepped you for this one. I didn't get
Yes.
I
I
mean, I was a hard one.
it reminds me of Book Bonanza when people go, "What do you write?" And you're like, "I
Yeah.
you have 10 plus years of books and you're just like, where do I even start with this?" I am not that elevator pitch girl. Um, like what the tag I finally, and it took me a long time to figure out kind of what my brand was, and it because I do write different things. I've been very fortunate to kind of write what my heart wants, versus stuck in one thing. So I always say they're character driven, heart racing, because I have everything from rock stars to romantic suspense to some charcoal gray, series, a lot of lighter rom-com, traditional contemporary. So
So you don't
I
stay
don't
in a
know
lane
3 words.
either. Yeah. You don't stay in a lane either. I'm like that. Like
No,
I'm kind of
I've been
all
very
over.
fortunate not to have to, which is good because I have tried. I think when you're in it long enough, you've tried everything, right? But I tried writing more formula, and I personally was so bored with the story
Mhm.
that I couldn't. I
Yeah.
was like, this is so uninteresting to me. And I get the concept, and some people are very talented about giving people exactly what they want from them.
Mhm.
And I am more of, you don't know you need it, but trust me, you do.
Yeah.
Here you go. This is what
Yes.
you're getting next,
Yes.
kind of thing. So, what
How many
about you?
how many books do you have? Like,
Over 50.
oh, so you have a huge catalog. See, I would kill for that backlist. I am such a slow writer. I only have so you started what, like 2012-ish, right?
It was 2012. My
Okay.
very first book was with a publisher, and they screwed everything up,
Yeah,
and
the way.
they had another book of mine that they were going to publish. I went ahead and wrote and published a novella because I wanted to go through the process. I wanted to see, how do you publish? Like, what does it take? What is this process? And back then, you had to have people who had this very expensive software to put your document into the format that Amazon accepted.
Mhm.
Now it's all changed. Um, so you'd have to pay people, and if you had a change or an update, you'd have to pay somebody to update. Anyway, so I put out this novella, and I was like, well, that was fairly simple. And so within, weeks of that, I basically said, I want my stuff back. I can do this better than you.
Yeah, right. I know that's
And and I did. They were not a great publisher, but there were some very good people. It's no longer exists. There were all kinds of lawsuits and things against them from other people, and fraud and all this stuff. They were the ones who put out 50 Shades at the time, the first time. But
I
they
feel like
had some very nice.
yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were taking go ahead.
They have some very nice people who worked there who are still in our book community. And when I hit New York Times in 2014, one of them went on to one of my posts and said, "You told us you could do this better than we could, and you did." They're
Yeah.
like, "Congratulations." And I thought that was
Congratulations is
so
great.
nice.
Were they still counting ebooks at that point? I don't remember. The New York Times?
Yes, they were ebooks.
Because I don't think
Uh-huh.
that changed until
Well, they
15.
changed that much later because indies, they were just tired of, we're just
Because
too
I
swift
started
with
in
everything.
I started in 2015, so a few years after you.
Yeah,
I don't remember if ebooks were being counted at that time. If they were, I was not even paying attention. I basically hit publish and was like, now what? Like I didn't have a plan. So I was kind of just
yeah,
learned as I was going because
yeah,
with you, I was dealing with a publisher and then they didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. Instead, they were trying to like change my story. And I think it was because they were basically were trying to chase the next 50 Shades of Grey, is what I think
right.
they were doing.
Yeah. Everybody was by then.
Yes, it really was. And I felt like they were trying to like change my story. They're like, do this. And they kept changing it to something it got to a point where I'm like, I feel like I don't even recognize this book anymore.
Yeah,
So I took it back. I made some changes to make it feel more like my own. And then I just published it indie just to see what would happen. And
yeah.
then the series itself ended up just taking on like a life of its own.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the publishers back then, I was very turned off. And then all the stories were coming out, like with what you were saying.
Yeah.
I feel like now with social media and the way that everybody talks, things have sort of gotten like cleaned up.
I think so too. You don't hear those scandalous stories
No.
about people not being paid and as much anymore. I think that's
Compared
a
to the
good thing.
NFL. NFL used to be like, like all those bad boys like misbehaving 30 years ago. And now they're like,
Yeah.
you got like Buffalo Bills, like my team. It's like they're all Boy Scouts, right? And I'm like, well, they have to be. They don't have a choice because of social media. Like,
Everything's
they're
out there.
everywhere.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree. I think there has been some good change with those types of things.
so okay, so your newest book, Small Town Frenzy.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. I didn't even read the blurb. I'm really
No,
I did not
that's
read the
okay.
blurb
That's okay.
properly.
It just came out Friday, but I guess when this will air, it'll be a month.
Right.
So it just came out a month ago. Um, it is a kind of it's small town, rivals to lovers, starts with a one night stand in Costa Rica, no names, separate 4 years later. They run into each other as rivaling families, not quite Hatfields McCoys where they're shooting at each other type thing, but their counties are named after their families and they bump up to each other. They did not know that's who they were, but she helps run a winery, this flourishing kind of county over there where they own a baseball team, a regional team, and so forth. But he has been invited to come play for this charity game to raise money for the two high schools for their baseball teams because they're small towns in the middle of nowhere. So, he comes back and soon enough they realize who they are, and she is very protective of her child, realizing, she knows that's his child, but so it's part of when will he find out, him getting to play some baseball, him working through some traumas of his past, and you get all the small town goodies of a big family on his side, which is the series Peachtree Pass. And so we've had two other books. They could all be read as standalone, so you can kind of pick up right wherever you want to. If you're starting the series, you would start with Long Time Coming. But this one, I love that people in the reviews are saying you can totally read this. I wasn't lost. I didn't need it. And it makes them want to go meet the other characters.
Oh,
So, but he has a very good family system, and that has been fun to write. So, yeah, and comedy ensues.
how long did it take you to write this one? Because I think you just had a release not too long ago, right? Like in
These
May.
have released every 2 months, except for this one. I had to bump a month to match with audio.
Oh yeah.
So it's
I like that
3 months.
simultaneous release.
But yeah, I'm really big on trying to release with the audiobook.
Good
So
too.
I I bumped it.
Yeah, I'll hold an audiobook if it means I have to, or not an audiobook, an ebook to wait for
Yeah.
the audio. I mean, unless it's going to be like a really long time, but like I'll, if it's going to be within like a week or two, I try to like release them of each other
Yeah.
because sometimes, like by the
Yeah.
because I proof all my audio, so from if I don't get to like doing the proofing, as long as I have my files, I'll release
Yeah.
the ebook, and audio might come a few days later, but it's usually all within the same time frame.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
it's within a week, I'll do it.
Mhm.
I don't do that. I don't fortunately have to do that very often. But this one was going to be a month, so I went ahead and bumped the release.
This book is the one that you chose for the giveaway, right?
Yes.
That we're gonna do.
Yes.
Okay, so readers, make sure you check out the link in the comments because the giveaway will be listed in there. Um, so okay, this is just this before we get to like reader questions and whatnot. This is actually just more like conversation with me and you because I feel like I go through this a lot. What is like so it's hard to stay motivated to write your stories, between family life, personal life, what might be going on in the world, all the distractions. You've been at this for a little, a few years longer than me. And I do remember a time where you took a break, where you just didn't like, was that like burnout? Like, how did you,
I don't know that I've ever really taken a break. I for the first
you hadn't
probably
published in a while? Like, I remember I put something out, it had been your first book in like a year or something.
so during COVID, I only wrote one book.
Yeah.
That was just too much going on. I had small kids, or younger kids. But if there was a book to write, that was the one to write. That did very well for me. It's one of my bestsellers of all time. So
Which one is
it was very angsty, and I'm sure the times played into that. Um,
what's the title of it?
that was We Were Once.
We Were Once. Oh,
And then
my Audible playlist.
yeah. And then I'm trying to think of another year. I probably did maybe two, and that was then my bestseller of all time, which was Best I Ever Had, which I still crack up because that was the best I ever had. Like come up with more titles like that. It was destined.
Right.
That is also super angsty. So, and they're both standalone, complete standalones. Like they're not even from anything. So it is funny, but I get burned. I get 6 month jump sometimes because I do get completely burned out and I will be trying to write and sometimes it's just not working. Like Long Time Coming, which was part of this series. Um, that was I was trying to write a different book for 2 months and I probably had 10,000 words and I just couldn't get into it. Something wasn't clicking with it. And I was like, no, this is what I should be writing next. Da, da, da. And I do a newsletter. And at the time, in each newsletter, I was highlighting a backlist book and I'd put a very small excerpt. And I put this one excerpt from a book that I have called Crazy in Love. And it made me laugh so hard that I was like, which is ridiculous because I wrote it, but yes, I thought it was. It made me laugh so hard that I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be writing.
Yep.
That one was heavy. This is not the time for that. For me, in my soul,
Yeah.
I had the idea of the small town cowboy and the twist I wanted to do with each book. I had those for a while, but I went ahead and just leaned on in. And that book was probably the happiest I ever was writing a book. It was pure joy. It was, like I said, my soul needed that. And then it led to the series, which has been so much fun to write. And different in a weird way, but with my twist, I write a lot of billionaires. So you have and I write a lot of stories in New York. I love New York. I love the opportunity that city kind of gives characters that sometimes you can't get in other places. So I combined them. They had left their small town and gone off to New York City. And how do you get these people back into their small town and stuff like that? So, yeah. So I will have breaks every once in a while, but I don't really get breaks. It's just burnout. And I'm never not working. It's more I am struggling to produce probably
Yeah.
or too caught up with the tasks of business, of running your business, which is
That's what
takes a
gets me
lot
burnt.
of energy and time.
That's what gets me the burnout more than anything. And I feel like it like just stifles my creativity when because like I'm a big ads girly, so I spend a lot of time analyzing data and now ads are like the
I could
profit
use your help
margins.
anyway with that.
Yeah. We could talk about that offline. I'd be
I
glad.
just put them off. I put them out there and then I never analyze them again.
No, well, that's the thing. Like you used to be able to do that a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and now like I have to look at them every single
Yeah.
day. It's a lot of work. And I finally like scaled back on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm working with like on the Facebook ads anyways. I'm working with Amazon to hopefully get them to
Yeah.
start taking some things over because I can't like I mean talking to an Amazon rep was probably the best thing I could have ever done because I just feel like I
Yeah.
can breathe a little bit more now
Yeah.
because of
I've
Facebook.
spoken with them. I haven't worked with them yet.
You haven't, okay. Well, all right. We'll definitely talk about that offline because it
Yeah.
was, I'll say one thing, it was an investment, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
If it means I have more time to write and less time to do like analyze ad dashboards,
That would be
I'm,
amazing
I'm
because
all
I
about
think that's what's hard. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is we don't get to write that much anymore. Like I
that. 10%
legit
of my time,
probably,
probably.
yeah, I would say in deadline times it's much higher, but in general, it's still probably 50% of the time, even at a deadline when you're trying to,
Yep.
cram it all in. But yeah, in general, it's easily less than 20% of our jobs. And it's sometimes I came into our romance community as a writer. I
Mhm.
didn't come in as a blogger or a reader. I
Me.
was a reader, but I didn't come into this world as a reader. And so it is interesting when you suddenly don't get to do what it was you were doing. And I'm also blown away that I have a career in this all the time still.
You're so grateful.
I was a complete tax loss on my family for years. And then a rock star put me on New York Times, and that I suddenly had a career. And it's mind blowing that something you feel so passionate about, something you love, you get to do day in and day out. And so I try to appreciate my days of writing. It does bring me the biggest joys, but then I have to go create graphics and do ads
And that's
and
what I love. I love
yeah,
doing so like things like this, like doing like Instagram lives with like bloggers and readers and authors. Like I love doing that because it's the personal connections, the
yeah,
conversations. I love doing graphics because
yeah.
by trade I was a graphic designer. So
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's kind of like a break from the admin stuff for me. I do that when we're watching TV at night. It doesn't feel like work. But the
yeah,
even though I talk about, the ads and, and all the tasks and all the things we have to do, it sounds like I'm complaining, but at the same time, it's like I know I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing for the first time in my life,
exactly.
you know,
I
like I
just didn't
tend to do.
know I was going to have to learn so much. And when you learn it, like it's, and I'm pretty quick at pivoting still. And I think maybe that's why we have careers still, is we can still pivot the business sense as well as writing or covers or things like that. So it is a full package, but yeah, it is funny how you don't get to write as much as I would like,
Yep.
but I do like connecting on social media. I could be lost on that for hours and usually am like talking to people. I do like that a lot. But probably I'm alone as well, except for my little dog.
Yeah.
But
I had to put
yeah,
mine like
it's
in the back hallway because they were like, oh my God, I had too many episodes I was trying to record that I literally had to like take a break, go deal with the situation. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
yeah.
But it was, between the squirrels in the backyard, Amazon deliveries at the house, or they just hear me talking to somebody and they're like, who's she talking to? What's going on? And then yeah, anyways. So anyways, I had to
So
put them
just kind of to wrap that, the burnout would come more from all of it,
Mhm.
not so much from what I started
Mhm.
doing
Yeah.
in this business. So I don't get burned out from writing. I get burned out from all of it needing to be done all at once.
Yeah. Everything all the time, all at once. It's exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, before we go on to some reader questions that were sent in, I just want to remind everybody to hit the like button because if you haven't already, because it does help the visibility of this podcast so that more people can find it. Okay. So I have a question from Angie, who is in Niles, Ohio. She
Okay.
wants to know what is the best or funniest thing that ever happened to you at a book signing?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know that I know when I got that question, I had to think about it.
I can't probably think of funniest, but as much as it might sound like it's a negative, it's not to me. But when I am a reactionary crier, so I'm so if someone starts, I can see them in line with tears in their eyes for
Yeah.
me.
You start.
I will start tearing up before they're even close. Now I'll be like this, oh gosh, I know it's coming, like in my head. I know, don't like cry, don't like cry. And so then when they get up, it like is the best to be able to hug that person. I don't know. It's just such a great connection. I don't know. I think that's when I get it really hits you how much your books or anybody's books, our books connect people together.
Mhm.
And I love that feeling. And not that they have to cry, but when they do, I then cry because it affects me. And I think it just becomes overwhelming as a whole, but in a good way. So I love that. People are so nice to me. I think maybe they know they like I can't handle much
Well,
else.
honestly, you just like you open your mouth and I don't know how you cannot be nice to you. Like you just have like this warm, like you have like such a warm
Oh,
personality. It's like
thank
it's
you.
easy to like gravitate towards you.
I'm a talker. I've gotten more probably introverted over the years, just because since probably COVID, right now.
COVID made me very much introverted. I get tired
Yeah. So
like
I am
3,000
not
paces now.
introverted, but I consider myself now an extrovert introvert. So I love talking to people, and I rarely get to do. I mean, I talk to my friends every day on the phone, like my author friends, and we get to talk about everything. But seeing people and connecting with people in person is pretty amazing. So I would say that's the best. It may not be a great answer for her question.
No,
Sorry.
I think it is a good answer because I couldn't think of something when I read the question, but what you just said actually reminded me of something that happened that I can't believe I didn't think of. My publicist had set up a small event in at a bookstore in New Jersey, and I feel really bad. I can't remember the name of this bookstore. I remember the town was a dry town because like we went and I was like, what is this? Footloose? I'm like, I can't go have a
Yeah.
glass of wine. It was really
Yeah.
weird. But when we went there, there was me and like three other authors, I think, in the place, and some reader came up to me with this old, like tattered copy of The Sound of Silence, one of my books, and she just started to cry. She's like, I just want to let you know, like, this book changed my life. And I was like, what? Because I'm thinking that book was like, then I got like teary because that book was, it's like about domestic abuse. It's a dark, it's a very gritty book. And
Yeah.
I interviewed like a lot of women for it. I talk about this book a lot because it was actually therapeutic for me in a way. So to know that it resonated with somebody like that
Mhm.
was yeah, that was like a moment for me that you
Yeah.
reminded me of when you were saying that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It kind of because you get, I think, a bit separated from it because you're just working, right? Day to day. So again, signings are put you in a it always just surprises me. I don't know why. I get very nervous and I'm always like, please let someone come to my table. Like,
I know.
please let someone come to my table. But people are very nice and you're just instantly connected to everyone in the room. Like you feel that community. I love that. But as for funny, yeah, I am not that probably funny at
Yeah,
signings.
I can't really think of funny things
I
that
can't
have
think of anything.
happened.
I'm sure something over the years, but I have no idea.
So, all right. So, another reader question. Jackie from Swampscott, Massachusetts. I actually have friends that live in Swampscott. Well, I think they moved, but they were in Swampscott. Okay, she wants to know, is there a trope that you'll never write?
I get asked this every once in a while, and I do find it a funny question because you know, the things I don't like, um, personally as a reader, um, I'm not gonna mention because it's just not my thing. I don't like scary stuff. I don't like gore. I don't like blood being in it. In all the forms that people write with that. That's not my thing, so I will not write that. But otherwise, I have ideas that, and even some unpublished books that I think people would be surprised that I had written.
Oh,
So
really? So, how many you have books that are
in
unpublished?
different genres.
You have
Uh,
unpublished books that you're sitting on.
yeah. I um I started off by sending stuff to trade publishers right back in the day, way before, not way before, but before 2012. And yeah, I had very nice feedback. Again, people being very nice to me and encouraging. I did not get any deals, but it encouraged me to kind of write again something to stretch my writing skills and stuff like that. So I went into the Twilight fandom, got caught in
Oh,
there because
I'm
I
like
love
obsessed. Yeah. Like my daughter and I once a year we just binge Twilight. It's a thing. Like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was in the fandom with like E.L. James, Helena Hunting, Christina Lauren. I mean, everyone was that was our little community. It was a great time. And so I even have those stories that were pulled from the sites, um, you know, that haven't been published. So I actually have unpublished and unpublished stories that from that period. But yeah, and I wasn't writing vampires, so they could easily translate. But yeah, I do have a few. I couldn't say that they're good. Like now, it would be too much work to rewrite them in my mind. That would be overwhelming.
Yeah.
It would be easier to take the concept for me and just write from the memory of the concept.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't even
no.
know what the question was at this
Yeah, no,
point.
no. It was like, is there a trope you would never write? And like for me, again, you go back to like what I don't like, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'll actually tell a story because it's because it was actually a super embarrassing story. I was at the Audie Awards, and it was the weekend that COVID was discovered in New York City, like when the first case
Okay.
was like
Wow.
reported.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was there for the Audie Awards. It was March 1st, and Stephen King was there. Receiving his Lifetime Achievement Award. And he was on the
Uh-huh.
stage giving his speech. And I hate horror everything. Like,
Yeah.
just like if there's a scary movie on the TV, I hit mute and close my eyes. Like, I
Yeah. I
can't
can't do it.
handle
I
it.
don't even want to hear it.
But yeah, I can write romantic thriller. I don't mind, like that's The Sound of Silence is kind of borderline
Yeah.
romantic thriller, but I can't do the gory. I have nightmares as a child from like when I accidentally watched Pet Cemetery and Stephen King
Yeah.
It. I couldn't like look at like clowns forever.
I
So
haven't
I
seen
go,
either.
yes, like I left because I had to go to the bathroom and there was a huge line in the ladies' room in the downstairs. So I'm like, I'm just going to go upstairs. And so I went around, or no, I think I was upstairs and I had to go downstairs or something. I don't remember. And my feet were killing me. I'm like, I'm not doing these stairs. So I'm just going to jump in the elevator. So I go in the elevator and the door is open and Stephen King is in the elevator, but I'm not paying attention to who's in the elevator. I'm looking at my phone because at the time Pokemon Go was like a big thing. And I was, so
Yes.
I was like, I was
I
catching
still have it on my phone.
like I was catching Pokemon at this
Yeah.
hotel. I think it was like the Waldorf or something. I think it was, I don't remember where it was. Anyways, and so I'm on my phone and I have the medal around my neck because I was like a finalist because I was part of
Uh-huh.
Tanya Eby did this production. It was Nevertheless We Persisted, Me Too. It was like this audio book
Okay.
thing. And I was part of it. So I had the medal around my neck as being a finalist. And I hear somebody say, congratulations on being an Audie Award finalist and or just I'm being a finalist. And I looked up and I'm like, in my head, I'm going, oh my God, it's Stephen King. But I didn't, I blurted the first thing that came to my mind.
Oh.
I was like, I can't say I'm a fan of your books, but I love your Twitter account. What? Who says that? Like that's what I said to Stephen King. I was like, I could, anyways, but yeah. So, and he just laughed and he got out of the elevator. And then yeah, like, I can't believe I did that. So I told Stephen King basically to his face that his books
Yeah.
were terrible. Like,
Big fan of his writing guides though. His writing
oh,
guides are great.
totally
Yeah.
embarrassing
So
though.
I guess just scary stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't see myself writing because I don't like to be that. But I have romantic suspense and I have that charcoal gray, which one of those books I feel like it's it's the darkest book I've written, but I'm not looking at gore.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't want blood around.
Yeah, that's me too. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm pretty open. And if I have an idea for it, that would be the thing. I just would have to have an idea for it, the concept.
All right, so I've got one more. This one's actually specifically for you. It's
Okay.
from Donna from Pacifica, California. She said, "I've read Dakota and Alexander Stone is my favorite, but I haven't read S.L. Scott. If I were to pick up an S.L. Scott book today, what hero is most likely to steal my heart?" I thought that was a good question because there was actually a lot I had to choose from, and I'm like, I had to like when I was going through, I'm like, this is a good one. So,
This would be where if I was at a book signing, I would say, what do you like to read? I mean, because she's reading you, so she's probably liking
if Alexander Stone's her
more.
favorite, she wants the billionaire probably. Yeah.
Um, so my one of my romantic suspenses would be called Everest,
Mhm.
and that's a billionaire with some good scenes in it and romance all the same. I always say, I mean, my New York Times is a rock star, so that's always a good place. But yeah, I mean, best I ever had, good and angsty. We were once good and angsty, but yeah, I would probably, based on what she likes, probably say Everest.
All right.
which kicks off a series, but it's a
Oh, okay, good.
standalone.
So you actually she'll get a whole series with that too.
Yeah, the brothers.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up, but before I, remind everybody where to go find us, I want to hear what is your unpopular opinion? Give me an
Um,
unpopular opinion on something, anything.
I really try to keep those offline.
How about this?
I see,
Mine is pineapple absolutely does belong on pizza. You have
I
to,
love pineapple
so
and
do
I love
I,
it on
but
pizza.
people they come at me like about that, like nobody's
I
business.
actually had that last week.
It's so good.
Um, mine, there was I don't like trailers for
Trailers
movies.
for
I
movies.
don't I don't like to read synopsises. I don't like trigger warnings.
Yeah, yeah, neither. I,
But with that said, I understand the benefit of trigger warnings for people, and I do put them when I have them. Not on my Amazon page, but on my website, because I find they're spoilers for me,
Mhm.
but I don't have those triggers. So I don't like triggers because if I see one or a warning, I am waiting for it the entire book. And it ruins how the author wanted it to unfold for me. So that would be my
I
unpopular.
have
But I understand why, and
I'm
I
like
do
you.
support
Yeah,
it.
like the triggers. I don't like reading triggers because of things. I feel like it ruins the story for me. Some readers want like a whole massive list, and that's fine. A lot of
Yeah,
authors put
and
it on their website.
you know
I
what?
have,
And I get why they do, but I wouldn't read the last page of a book too. I have a friend who literally picks up a book off a shelf, reads the last page to see if she's going to like that book. And I'm like,
what?
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 How does that make sense to
No,
anyone? I'm
it's
like, that is the
terrible.
craziest thing I've ever heard.
I
But
I have trigger warnings on a couple things, but I was really vague with it just because anybody who would be triggered by these things would know. Like Sound of Silence had said it deals with situations of
yeah,
domestic
like you're
abuse,
putting
violence and
it where
domestic
they,
abuse, So I just
yeah,
left it
you
like that. But you
understand
can
what
read
you're
the
getting in.
yeah, but you read the blurb and figure that out too, like
Yeah.
that there could potentially
Yeah.
be violence and domestic abuse. Or in Breaking Stone. Now, if you're on Breaking Stone, which is book 5 and like a saga, it's the same couple through all five books.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
don't just pick up book 5 on accident. So the readers who are familiar
Right.
with the story, they could have
Yeah.
ended it at book 4 if they wanted to and not go on to book 5 if the trigger was if it was something for them because it does deal with pregnancy loss. And you
Okay.
could kind of and I only put that warning on there is because the story is actually modeled off of my one of my best friends is was going through all of that, and that's where the inspiration from the story came from. And I know for her to accidentally pick up a book like that, not knowing
Yeah.
that was coming, it would send her into a complete tailspin. So I
Yeah.
felt like I had to do that, but that's the only time I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But absolutely,
I
like I said, I understand the reasoning for them. I don't have those same triggers of what I would potentially have in some of my books, but generally, I don't have anything that would really trigger. So I haven't written anything that I felt like I had to list in a while. I mean, we're so trope-tastic now, right? Like we say so many tropes now and details that we used to not do. So I think my things would be like if I'm listing surprise pregnancy, they know there's a surprise pregnancy, right? And they're not going to be blindsided with that.
I do
So,
like
but
all
yeah,
like the
those ruin.
the micro
Sorry, go
tropes
ahead.
that like when you're saying how we always post all like the different tropes.
I know, yeah,
I kind of they're
microscope.
actually
They've
fun.
gotten out of hand.
I see these like graphics. You know who's really good at doing them is Brooke
They're
Montgomery.
so good when they say stuff like
You ever see
something
Brooke?
so specific.
Yeah, like one bed trope. I'm like, that's clever. Like what who's coming up with all these very specific
Yeah,
things? And Brooke Montgomery
yeah.
is really good at doing these, like if you look at her graphics on Instagram, she lists all these little tiny micro tropes. I'm like, who would have thought to list that? That's fun. Because it doesn't actually spoil the
I love
story,
them.
but it also
Yeah.
makes me like want to read it.
I do think they're out of hand. I love them personally
Yeah.
because I think they're a little more interesting than the big ones now. I like to see the more specific, but like my last book, they wanted like 12 or 15. And I'm like,
I'm
what
not
are we
good I'm
doing?
not good
That's
at finding that
you
stuff.
lost me after 6, right? Like I could probably go to 7, but after that, are we even reading these? Like, but I just started having I get delirious and sometimes on graphics, like I put with this one, no cowboy hats were harmed in during the steamy season.
That's a funny one.
Like I just started like you catch me at the right moment, probably about 11:45 at night when I'm having to do something. And I just start cracking myself up. And I'm like, you could have the craziest fun things. So I like them. I think they're funny and I think they're very clever what people come up with. I don't think we need to list all of them in every single
I agree.
post.
I agree. I agree.
And I say, from my perspective, I don't think bloggers need to or influencers need to be they shouldn't feel like they have to list all of them
Right.
because I do think readers get tired of seeing them. So yeah.
So, all right. So now, is there anything else that you want to tell people who are listening in? Anything, anything in particular? We talked about a lot, so
we co-
this was
we
actually
covered
super fun. I
what we
laughed a
don't
lot.
like about our jobs, what we do love about our jobs. We feel fortunate to be able to do this. It is really amazing. I always feel grateful that again, my readers tend to accept what I'm writing and trust me. I should say they trust me. I get asked so much if there's going to be an AGA, and I'm just like, there's not one book I've written without an
Well, it's not
AGA.
a romance
But,
if it doesn't
but
have an HEA. Why is that a discussion? Why is that a
but
conversation?
I
Not
do take
romance?
it as a compliment because I've realized they're so caught up in the story that they're reading that they worry about it, right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
that
true.
to me is a compliment because I've put them where they're not like just expecting the same old, even though they will get it. It is romance, but I love that it kind of puts them on edge with it, which means they're invested. So I do love that, but it is funny. Yes, we talked about a crazy, ridiculous deadline and that we get to spend time with our community like this. Thank you for
Like this.
having
I know. Thank you for
we
coming
need to
on.
chat more.
I
We
know
chat
for
online,
I
but
know for sure, absolutely. Because there's a lot I feel like that, like we could actually talk about. Because I don't really stay in a lane, even though I have like my dark-ish billionaires,
yeah.
and then I have other stuff that would cross with you, like fade into you and things like that. We can actually do
Yeah.
way more cross promo than I realized.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
so that said, to everyone listening, just a reminder, our links are all going to be in the comments. So make sure you're following Susie and you're giving this video a like so other people can see it. There is also the giveaway that we have going on. I'll keep that. It usually stays open a week after the episode drops. So make sure you get in on that. And the next episode of More Than Words is going to drop next week, Friday. But while you wait, just make sure you can go back and watch any episodes that you might have missed. And be sure to submit any questions in the link that's also listed below so you can catch all your favorite authors that are coming up. And also subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything just to hit subscribe, and it lets you know when new episodes are dropping. So, all
I
right.
love it. Congratulations on the podcast too.
Yeah, this has been fun. I'm enjoying myself a lot. So we got some growing to do, but I think we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see anything, but you're doing
So
great.
thanks. No, growing meaning like as far as our audience, like we have
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like a lot of
yeah.
room to expand still, but like I said, we just started, so it hasn't been around very long.
Well, thank
All right
you. I
then.
appreciate it.
It has been fun, and we will talk soon.
Okay, take
All
care.
right,
Thank you.
bye, Susie. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into the More Than Words podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and consider sharing it with your friends so more people can find us. The more people we have listening, the more fun we can have on our shows. And most of all, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting authors everywhere. Thanks and happy reading.